Starting off to the bottom left of Daybreak. In red, we have the Terran player, SKT1. Yes.
SK Telecom T1 Fantasy.
Fantasy looking stronger, rocking that red jersey, and to the top right we have his opponent with a win on map number 2. He forced this third game, starting for Startail.
Startail Avenge.
And what you just could see on screen is also his ID on Twitter. If you want to add him and give him a quick shout out, Startail_Avenge. We also have a Fantasy with an account on Twitter, SKT_Fantasy. If you're a Terran fan or you want to give him a quick shout out. And of course you can also tweet at the two of us. Make sure that you add us on Twitter. My ID is @Caldor and Wolf is @ProxyWolf.
Yeah. And while you guys are at it, if you follow my stream on Twitch, Wolf_Schroeder, I'd appreciate that. I've been streaming a lot recently. And we have again Gas for Fantasy, 3 for 3, loving his aggressive builds. And Avenge, on the other hand, will be going Gateway as well. He's not going to be skipping that, not doing a fast Nexus.
He tried that in game number 1 and it didn't really work for him, so he's a bit more cautious now. On the other hand, this is of course also a 2-player map and not a 4-player map, therefore it's a bit more difficult to pull a build like this off.
Yeah. And I was to say, he does go into the 2 gases as well this time.
Yeah, he seems to be really liking this build. It's so far the same start that we had on game number 2 for him. But what is Fantasy going to do now on this map? With the early gas, he could go in exactly the same build that he executed already on game number 1 or game number 2. Reaper opening for him once again.
Yeah, this is really important for him to scout.
I like the scout, by the way, with the SCV here.
Yeah, he checks everything. I'm a little bit surprised we saw Avenge go for the Blink Stalker after he saw the Reaper last game, but he still made it work. It was just such a bold, ballsy choice by him, and I wonder when he sees the Reaper this time if he's just going to continue to do some sort of tech on one base before he expands, or if he's just going to make a Nexus.
You know, if you really start with the Twilight Talks and the opponent scouts it, the only choice that you have is either cancelling, going into Blink, or going into DTs, and both Blink and DTs is something that your opponent is most likely going to expect. So either you go through with it or you cancel. If you cancel, it's going to take a long time of you. All the timings are completely screwed up. I like that he immediately moved out and was like, okay, I have to be aggressive now if I still want to make this work.
Sees the Reaper now. Reaper going to take out some of the hit points on the Zealot, but he should be able to save it with that first Stalker. It's going to be close. I think he can save it.
Huh? Stalker comes out, chases the Reaper away, and the Zealot is like, thank God.
Yeah, that was very scary. Mothership Core is out now as well. And he's chased away the Reaper. It's a lot harder to bounce into the main base on this map because of that little gap on the left side of Avenge's base, so he could decide to hide something. I would love to see Stargate play.
I like that we have the bunker this early now in the game. This time Fantasy is not trying to skip this and delay it. He paid dearly for that in game number 2, so this time the bunker completed very early in the match.
I like the Probe fighting the Reaper as well. He just really wants to make sure that that Nexus is not going to be scouted. And again, we see this Mothership Core pressure. Zealot actually runs up here.
Yeah, a little bit of a suicide cellar that we have here. Ooh, the Marines have to be careful, and Supply Depot is gone.
Yeah, that was really well done. I like the choice to bring the Zealot in there. And he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to lose some SCVs here for sure. One goes down.
Loses the SCV, loses the Marine. 2 more Marines are moving in right now. Here comes the Time Warp. Not only slowing down the income, but also slowing down the Marines if they would have taken that path, which is not the case.
He hits the Mule too, and also he scouts the engineering base, so he knows it's a very fast +1 coming out here. Mothership Core gets away.
That's one of the things that players should always do. If there is a Time Warp in your mineral line, always put that mule to the side. Something that Fantasy doesn't do here. If you optimize your mining pattern a little bit, you can just move the mule to one of the mineral patches that is not affected, and that will heavily increase your income.
Such a great Reaper scout here by Fantasy. He's giving me chills. He comes in here at the perfect moment where he sees the extra gateways being added.
Every time. Every time he's able to get that Reaper in, even if there are a few units just waiting for it to jump up the cliff.
Avenge is adding a bunch of gateways here. Looks like he wants to go for a 6 gate.
Oh, a bunch, yeah. He's going for 5 additional ones. Not a lot of saturation here at that second Nexus.
He knows he kind of messed with Fantasy's timings a little bit here with this pressure, so he knows that he's got an opening, and he's going to even continue to harass right now.
Going to continue to harass, taking down another SCV, maybe even 2, and he took down his fair share of Marines as well, so this is definitely something that he can pull off.
Time
Time warp, yeah. Saves the mothership core, and also slows down the mining. That is actually working out so well for Avenge. I really like this.
Avenge has improved so much as a player. I don't think anybody can disagree with that statement. He used to be a player who had his strengths, and sometimes he looked a little bit shaky, but I am seeing nothing but solid play from him every time I see him these days. I'm really impressed with how much he's improved, especially going to Heart of the Storm. He's even going to pick up another SCV here. He's trying to keep Fantasy distracted at all ends.
The money scan though sees every single gateway, and here come the additional bunkers. He needs them, but we already have Avenge moving in.
He can force field the ramp. Cutter can force field the ramp. He's already trapped these Marines out, but he can trap the Marines in the main base. Guardian Shield goes up.
And he moves in. The Guardian Shield is there. Here are the force fields, and the bunker is not gonna finish. Those 2 and another bunker is already down. Oh my god, this is not really looking all that good for the Terran player.
He might find himself with a bunch of empty bunkers in a second because he doesn't have any Marines left. And the last bunker finally finishes only to die.
Bunker finishes. There are quite a few of them done by now, but the problem is he doesn't have the Marine numbers, as you already said, and there is still no wall at the front.
And he just walks into the ramp.
That is not looking good.
He's going to kill all of the units that come out. He's also going to be able to kill the reactor. He needs a force field on the ramp. Not enough energy, though.
The reinforcements are already on their way in. There are all the SCVs. They are fighting and doing a decent amount of damage, but the Protoss player in a corner does take only damage from a few of those SCVs. And the Harvester numbers just plummeting down. He's down to 9 right now.
It's going to be Avenge that goes to the 3rd round. Fantasy will find himself in the up and downs. Zealot dances here. He's telling him, you know what, you dance with me, I'll dance with you.
Avenge is playing such a solid style. Great performance here. The Mana Nexus in the main base.
GG. This is what they call Fantasy GG timing.
Well played here by Avenge. Keep in mind, guys, if you want to congratulate him on Twitter, send him a tweet at @StarTale_Avenge. That's his ID. Younger player, not that much known. Fantasy was definitely the favorite and the favorite known player in this series.
Right.
But Avenge is the one who advances to the 3rd round to meet Flash.
And damn, man, Avenge has gone from being a mid-tier player who has shown decent games in the past to, in my mind now, he is top tier, and I could even see him maybe taking a game off of Flash going into this 3rd round.
It's going to be difficult though, but in this game in particular, you could really see that there was a lot of... The thought process was just so transparent. He moves in and he does so much damage with the early Zealot with the Stalker and also his mothership core. He takes down the supply depot, he kills a couple of SCVs, he takes down Marines, and he's like, well, actually, you took so much damage. If I hit you now with a 5-gate timing, with a 7-gate timing, I can take you out without a problem at all.
Beautiful execution, and just the improvement we have seen in this player is awesome.
Yep. Very well played, and this is the 2nd series of the day, so Avenge advances to the next round of Code A, which is the 3rd round, up against Flash. Fantasy is now down. He will either be participating in Code A next season or make his way through the up and downs. We are going into a 5-minute break, and then we'll be ready for our 3rd series of the afternoon session, so stay tuned and we'll be back in a few.